Hello, 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 and welcome to Wrestling with Entertainment, bringing you exclusive breaking news, breaking the rumor and innuendo, previewing the latest shows and reviewing from WWE, AEW, New Japan, Ring of Honor, and all wrestling companies. I'm your host, James J. As always, Mitch Mayhem
Hey, what's up, everybody?
and Scooter Dust.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is your host with the most available choice voice from coast to coast.
That was almost as long as Kaliko's squash.
Yeah.
Oh no, I can do a longer squash.
Well, I'm sure you can.
We're gonna have a squash off.
I'm looking forward to seeing that. But do not steal Kaliko's gimmicks. We are not gimmicks infringement on this show. Well,
P.S.
we
totally
kind of are, but
Yeah, I was trying to hide my laugh.
yeah. Last week we covered NXT on USA, and we'll cover week 2 as well this week. And we'll be covering SmackDown on Fox next week. We might have, I don't know, some special news coming out on that Friday while covering the show. But for now, we are wrestling with New Japan, Destruction and Kobe. Now this was last Friday.
I think we already went through this last week.
No, we previewed it.
Did
now
we?
we are reviewing it.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. My bad.
We'll be covering the top matches from this card. The first match we'll be covering is the Young Lions Cup Finals. Carl Fredericks defeated Shota Uno to win the tournament with a Boston Crab in 7 minutes and 17 seconds. Which is kind of interesting because Carl Fredrickson is a LA dojo guy, and Shota Uno is a New Japan dojo guy. Any comments on that?
I don't have much to say on that, honestly.
Yeah,
I'm kind of
like
that's not my alley right now.
like really, the guy named Carl Fredrickson.
He's going to be a star one day. He is incredibly talented.
That's a real meat. That's a real meat and potatoes kind of name. That is almost like from the character from The Simpsons. Carl Fredrickson here.
The next match.
I was gonna say something real quick. I was gonna say, James. The issue is with that whoever that guy is. There's so many people like that in like Impact, MLW, ROH, AEW, WWE. There's so many guys that people that might be great in a few years are just lost right now.
Right, but
in terms of like the bigger, like being well known, but yeah.
Well, Shota Uno and Ren Narita are going on excursion now, so it's we're getting a new batch of young lions, and our young lions from maybe a year or two ago are gonna come back. And the last time we got new young lions, back from excursion, we got Switchblade Jade White, Roppongi 3K, Hiromu Takahashi. So it's going to be an exciting time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear you. I totally agree.
All right. Next match was supposed to be an 8-man tag with Rocky Romero, Tiger Mask, Gypsum Dundolager, and Hiroshi Tanahashi fighting
Romeo,
Dookie, Yoshinobu Kanemaru, Minoru Suzuki, and Zack Sabre Jr. While Minoru Suzuki was coming down the ramp, Gypsum Thunder Liger attacked him, getting revenge from the night prior when Minoru Suzuki unmasked him, causing Suzuki Gun to come out, for Thunder Liger's partners to come out, major brawl. They got to the ring, and Thunder Liger took off his mask to reveal.
Yeah, I heard about this. I did hear about this.
Yeah, Kishin Thunder Liger.
Whoa.
I saw a photo of it. He looked pretty badass, dude. He looked like a Mortal Kombat character.
It was kind of scary to look at it at right that moment.
Because,
like I said, he looked like one of the Sith Lords from Star Wars, kind of.
That's a good analogy.
He tried to friggin' stab.
He tried to murder a motherfucker.
He looks like a mix between Quan Chi and the Joker from Christopher Nolan's Batman.
Like I said, I think he looked like one of the Sith, like the first in the episode 1 Sith Lord.
Well, you can't really compare him to
what's his name?
Darth Maul? No, I really think
Darth City.
He's thinking of Darth Maul.
Yeah, I'm thinking of Darth Maul with the horns.
I think he really looks more like the Joker.
I think he looks like Darth Maul.
Well, I saw pictures of him when he did this in 1996, and it was just as creepy and macabre.
The Joker lips.
I don't. Well, okay. He obviously, he doesn't have the colors of Darth Maul, but in the Star Wars: The Old Republic, the video game, there's a character that has like, it looks like his whole body is like crusted, like dirt crust, and it looks like that. It's hard. You'd have to know what I'm. What? Shut up.
Darth Mick.
Very funny. Okay. But yeah, so if anyone's played Star Wars: The Old Republic 1 and 2, you probably know what I'm talking about.
So in this match, Kishin Thunder Liger took a steel spike, I want to say, and tried to stab Minoru Suzuki in the head. Now,
stop.
First of all, if he wanted to kill a motherfucker, he should have took advice from Rey Mysterio, because we all know he kills motherfuckers. But
send your hate mail to James J.
He has a one-time, like every week he's got to get in the fact that Rey Mysterio killed Perro Aguayo.
And you think we're terrible for the jokes we make.
We don't kill anyone with our words. We make people laugh.
Oh, come on. But, so, in this match, Suzuki Gun won by disqualification. Usually they're the ones winning. They're the ones losing by disqualification. So I found that ironic. But Suzuki will be fighting Liger at King of Pro Wrestling, so we will stay on that. Next match, Hiroki Goto defeated Shingo Takagi in 20 minutes and 20 seconds with a GTR. I know Mitch wasn't sure which Japanese guy he was rooting for in this match. I went with Shingo.
I just heard a bunch of Japanese syllables. That's all I knew. Dude.
Just remember, the Japanese guy, he won.
Okay, well, rewinding.
And you get on to me for doing that shit and talking and flipping over my tongue. Come on now.
Oh, come on. You always bother me when I mispronounce somebody's name, so don't go there.
Who? Me?
Yeah, you, Mitch.
I do not. What are you talking about, James? I do not. That must be Kaliko. I really don't. What are you talking about? I've done it
honestly,
twice.
We don't get on James.
We don't, bro. We have your back.
Because it's my podcast and I could kick you out of this Hangouts chat at any time I wish. I have the power here.
Pay-per-view.
That's lovely.
Not pay-per-view.
Yeah, that's just great.
Okay.
That someone said that right after we said we got your back, and then he said, "Well, I have control."
Pay-per-view or pay-per-view?
Alright, next match, Tetsuya Naito lost to Jay White in 29 minutes and 47 seconds with a Blade Runner.
But
and we all pretty much went with Jay White to win this match anyway, so
right.
You know, it's that quest to be the first Intercontinental and IWGP champion, and Jay White's one step closer to doing that.
Why do you sound like a giggling baby, Scooter?
I got it. No.
What? We can't. You're unintelligible right now.
I'm surprised. No, I'm not gonna say. No, I can't.
What?
Nope.
You can't just build us up and then go no.
Do you really want me to make an announcement?
You think I care? Ask James.
You think you want me to make an announcement that I just cut one?
Come
that
on.
makes you giggle that bad? Wow, child.
It was.
Wow.
It was loud.
You are a child.
On the playback, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be able to be heard.
I did not hear anything, and if it was, I will cut it out. I'm just joking. I don't edit the show.
No, it was more like.
The fact I'm getting at is that you're laughing at farts at the age of in your 30s.
because it was just so freaking loud.
All right, go on, James. Sorry, I am so sorry for this.
I flew 5 feet.
Okay, and that ends our coverage of New Japan and Destruction and Kobe. Now we are wrestling with NXT on USA Week 2. All around, I thought this was 10 times better than the original, the first week that they did this. This is where you guys start talking.
Yeah, I know. Okay. I was waiting for Scooter.
All right. Well, also, you have to also forgive me because Wednesday was also the premiere of The Masked Singer, and before
I give a F.
I do because that wins me money. So don't screw with my money. Yes.
Who's singing what now? That's a thing.
The Masked Singer isn't that show where like someone sings and then they unmask and it's like Gilbert Gottfried and some bullshit.
No, but this past week they revealed Johnny Weir and
I'm sorry. I mean, everyone's got their own
I wasn't finished.
Go ahead.
They revealed Johnny Weir and Ninja.
Oh God, Ninja! Oh my God, kill us now. This world has no future.
Well, Ken Jeong thought it was PewDiePie.
I'm sure he did.
All right, NXT. Keith opening match. This was built for quite some time. Keith Lee dominated Dijakovic. You may have seen the as I put in air quotes the video of Kenny Omega on after being the Elite, referring to him as Donovan Dickhead.
That was a joke. I mean,
but
that don't mean shit.
Good God, if you had not seen,
I've seen.
Keith,
oh,
I wasn't talking at you.
Go ahead, I'll shut up.
If you had not seen Keith Lee in a wrestling ring prior to this, and this was your first time seeing Keith Lee, your jaw would have been on the damn floor. with that opening routine, that jumping spin kick, that friggin' pounce that would make Monty Brown cry in the corner.
And he's a bigger guy, yeah, and he moves quicker. And here's the thing: him and Matt Riddle in 2016, 2017 until they, and then 2018 until they got signed. These are the two guys in the independent scene, them and Walter, that I was really on. And I'm sure you remember, Scooter, that I was big Keith Lee and Matt Riddle. And so I've seen this for quite a while. I've been waiting. I honestly think WWE for the first 6 months dropped the ball on Keith Lee. They were having him lose left and right. It was pissing me off. So maybe it's starting to get better. Hopefully, that was a great match and a great showing.
You know, I don't understand. Keith Lee he has a good look to him, and he's a big guy that could move. Oh, I don't understand why he hasn't been NXT champion yet.
Or at least in the running. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And you know, I wasn't as familiar with Keith Lee before NXT. I've heard the name, but I've never actually seen him wrestle. I'm more familiar with Dominik Dijakovic. And so what I've seen of Keith Lee, I've actually really liked in these past year.
Well,
yeah, he's amazing.
I mean, the WWE Universe, in its fandom came up with a brand new lyric, to the tune of Seven Nation Army, all should bask in his glory, which is now Dijakovic's, new phrase. And we apologize if you now can't get that out of your head. We take no responsibility.
Did you just say that's Dijakovic's new phrase? That's
Dijakovic. No, that's
that
Dijakovic.
Used to be okay. Keith Lee's phrase used to be "and bask in my glory." That used to be his thing. I promise you.
It's Dijakovic's now.
I promise you. I'll get you a video of.
Wait. They hold on. They were waiting it on.
They gave him Keith Lee's thing.
Also,
wow.
I believe so. I believe they also.
Oh, I'm pissed, dude. Oh,
they now have a.
That's a bitch move.
They all have a.
They just bitched him out.
Feast your eyes thing,
now.
But the match. I mean,
feast your eyes. Yeah. Feast
the
your
match
eyes. Ultra bask in my glory. That was him too.
The match was incredible. Lee with a freaking corkscrew plancha. At some point in the friggin' match, Lee with a moonsault. Dijakovic with the friggin' Canadian Destroyer from the second rope on Lee. Absolutely friggin' insane. But then Keith Lee wins with the V-trigger. I mean, no, the Big Bang Catastrophe, and defeats Dijakovic. People were surprised Dijakovic did not hit any sort of V-trigger during this match.
Yeah.
I was going to move on.
Real quick, the rare thing with Keith Lee about me is we just went over how he's a big guy and he can move. But the thing that makes him stand out from anyone else is that in history is that he's the biggest man who can move. No one else I've seen that big can move like Rob Van Dam through the air. Never seen that. That's one of a kind.
One of a kind.
One of a kind. Hey. Exactly. Thank you for picking that up.
Please don't copyright strike us. All right.
I didn't sing it. You did.
It's Impact Wrestling. It's fine.
Well, that was WWE. Thing you did say.
We were then followed up by a quick promo from the Street Profits, who will be challenging the Undisputed Era next week on the October 2nd episode of NXT, the first full 2-hour episode.
And let's be honest, okay. Before we get off the, we'll rewind you for a second. The Dijak and Keith Lee match. This was as pretty much NXT as you can get at this point on USA, right?
Sorry about that. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it was the NXT style, absolutely, but they put their own little stank on it for sure.
Right. Alright, and that brings us to the next. First of all, Street Profits not going to win that match, obviously.
But
Undisputed Era for the NXT Tag Team titles on the first full 2-hour episode of NXT with limited commercials by USA.
we'll see. I'll believe it when I see it.
But I mean, if there are any commercials, it's going to be for the Suits Reunion show.
Exactly. Yeah, they need their
advertising. Or the Purge, or maybe the Silk Stockings reboot.
I promise you, no.
But then,
no TV station will say no to advertising. They have to put advertising. They will, no matter
that
what.
gets followed up by probably what Kaliko was looking most forward to, and that's the return of the captain of Team Kick, Dakota Kai, returning to
defeated.
Tainara.
She's got a new look.
Hey, Scooter, who's running this ship? If anybody's gonna announce who did what when, it's me. Dakota Kai defeated Tainara with a version of the GTS that is
except
a kick version.
Except she's not Tainara Conti. She's just
Tainara now.
Yep. Just Tainara?
Yep.
She's one of the latest victims of the last name play.
She go for somebody who actually watched it. No. But
not a big loss.
But to end this hour,
I still have something to say. Yeah.
I wanted to talk a little bit more about Dakota Kai and Tainara. Tainara is a glorified jobber who, unfortunately, I always thought she had a good look, but again, she's never actually won a match on NXT, and Dakota Kai, always been a fan of her since the first Mae Young Classic.
You know what Tainara Kai reminds me of? She can't wrestle well, and she looks like what's her name? I'm having a blank right now. I'll come up with it in a little bit. But
who?
No, a singer. That chick who sings the whenever and shakes her butt. Shakira. Yeah. Shakira. Yeah. She looks exactly like Shakira, in my opinion.
Okay.
Doesn't she?
Okay.
Doesn't she? Face, not her.
The yes.
Her face, facially.
And Kai defeats Tainara with the GTK.
Interesting new finisher there.
And she's got a new look. Nice new look, dude. She doesn't have that old. Never mind.
To end this first hour, though, it was announced that Imperium, the 3 members of Imperium that are not Walter, would battle Kushida and 2 partners of his choosing. Well, Imperium comes out, Kushida comes out. Or rather, no, that I am getting ahead of myself because that was announced. But then we got the #1 contender street fight and a rematch from last week between Matt Riddle and Killian Dane.
Matt Riddle defeated Killian Dane in that street fight. Honestly,
but the first
these matches kind of blend into each other at this point, the way that they've been wrestling.
Well, it was better than the last one, because the last one was god-awful, in my opinion. And I'm a Matt Riddle fan, so that says something. But obviously, it's Killian Dane.
Well, the last one wasn't even a match. It was a glorified...
Exactly! Well, you know what I mean.
Battle
Royal.
Any segment. So you can't really blame them.
No,
but a segment's a segment. I don't know.
It was a glorified promo to say, here are our superstars.
Yeah. Okay.
That's all it was. But
I'll give you that.
Riddle, of all things, defeats Killian Dane with a Fujiwara armbar.
Cool.
Yeah, kind of a disappointing end to that match.
Yes, that was. Then Adam Cole, baby, strutted down to the ring to rub his title in the face of Matt Riddle, who he thought was too exhausted, to brawl. However, Riddle soon lost Cole in the Fujiwara armbar, forcing him to tap before the UE rushed to the ring to attempt to make the save.
And that's the new feud coming up for the world title.
The one thing I kind of fault with the Killian Dane Matt Riddle match is they kind of worked themselves into a corner. NXT did. Because you're trying to get Dane over as this monster heel, going up against probably their biggest babyface at this moment. And, if Dane loses, it makes him look bad. And if Riddle loses, it makes him look bad. And I kind of felt like having Dane tap out kind of squashed them a little bit. What do you guys think?
Honestly, Dane was already dead in my eyes. Like I don't have a liking for him after a while.
Honestly, I think Dane is the type of person where we just don't know yet. I mean,
I haven't seen anything that surprised that makes me stand up and be like,
will Dane eventually, learn to stand out, on his own? I mean, they've given him this new gimmick, despite the fact that they've sent him and Alexander Wolf back to NXT.
It's really worked out for Wolf for sure.
Yes, it has worked out for Wolf. I will say that. But I'm gonna go with a crazy limb here, and I'm gonna say that Dane. I'm gonna say that Dane would get over as a face.
I don't know. You would have to
not with that hairy body.
You'd have to let people see a different side of him slowly progress that. And as of now, no. But I don't see it. But you can do anything's possible in WWE and NXT. So
next up,
real quick before we get too much farther, so I can just get this out of the way. The Street Profits. It doesn't have to do with their match, but like their presentation on Raw. They're just being used as a glorified to get the young demographic. It's obvious. It's so blatantly obvious, and I don't know how to feel. I mean, it's okay, but they get annoying, and it takes away from how I loved them when I first saw them on NXT. I was a huge fanboy for them, and so it kind of rubs off some of the put them on TV too much, in my opinion. That's my opinion.
Well, WWE wants you to know who they are before they come out to wrestle. So that's just kind of what they're doing.
Well, they haven't done that with many other NXT guys in the past. They're doing this. They're doing it right with them because they're doing a build up before they wrestle.
I mean, in my opinion,
they're just presenters. They're just presenters.
But yeah, you know what? In my opinion, they are taking the affirmative action with Street Profits.
I think it's more for the younger generation than.
Wow,
what are you talking about?
That just went right over.
Yeah, it did. Head. I was like, "What are you talking about?" I thought you were serious. I was like, "What?"
Affirmative action.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You don't know what oh my God, Mitch.
Tell me. I know what affirmative action is. Yes, I know what affirmative action is. Of course, I know what affirmative action is. What do you mean by it?
They took the affirmative action with the Street Profits.
Oh, and you're laughing because it says affirmative action in it. Ha ha, I'm supposed to laugh. Okay. Yeah, I don't find it funny. Sorry.
You missed the joke.
I know what affirmative action is. It's big in the 80s for equaling out, the rights of...
So you heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen.
What?
Mitch don't like black people.
I was How do you get me explaining affirmative action and spinning Mitch doesn't like black people? You should be a Republican. You are a good spinner. You're a shitty spinner. You're a shitty spinner.
Changing the subject.
Next up, Rhea Ripley defeated Kaden Carter.
Excuse me, we're not there yet. I have stuff to say.
You're getting bitched out, Scooter. This is lovely. Go, James.
I mean, this isn't like this isn't the Flash. We're not speeding through the show.
Exactly.
You gave NXT over to us.
What?
What?
You said NXT. This is your guys' turn to talk.
I do not remember.
No,
that,
I
okay.
said, what do you have to say about it? Damn it!
That's not what you said.
That's what I heard. To be honest, Scooter, I didn't hear what you heard.
Everybody from, I find it ironic that everybody from Sanity, the only one that's over is Nikki Cross at this point.
Yeah, and that's because they forced that issue, and I hate that she's with Alexa Bliss because we still don't know if Alexa Bliss is a damn face or a heel from week to week.
True.
But yeah.
I'm still hoping for that Carrie reaction out of Nikki Cross when Alexa Bliss betrays her.
Honestly, I don't think they're going to do it now. I think they've tried to make her likable and lovely, and I think they're going to take that edge away from her now, and she's going to be all smiles from now on. Watch. Like, even worse. She's going to be like the new Bayley, but she's got like a dark mysteriousness to her. It's retarded. I do not like how they're making her. I really don't.
You know, they're in something comfortable right now, and I think they're
she's
going
my
to
Scottish. She's my Scottish sister. That pisses me off. Scottish and Irish, so yeah.
So now first off, what do we think of the first hour on USA? Obviously, a big change from last week. Actually had matches that mattered this week. Not a lot of Gaga.
Yeah, it was packed card, like I think.
All right.
It's okay.
Next, the second hour, Suits. What did we think of the episode?
I turned it off immediately.
When they started doing drugs and getting into a big orgy.
I've never watched that shit. Honestly, let me think. What the last after Raw show was? I'm trying to think.
They sacrificed a lamb.
You know what? The last time I watched the After Raw show, it was on Spike TV. It was the Joe. What was that reality TV show? The something Joe show.
The Joe Schmo show.
Yeah, that's the last thing I've watched after Raw.
Based on the real life of Bitch Bam.
Sure.
All right. So the second hour was on WWE Network. What was your connection like this time around, Scooter?
My connection was absolutely awesome. You should get the WWE Network for $9.99 first month free.
Guess what, Scooter and James?
It's changing. We know.
I got the WWE Network again.
Congratulations! Welcome back to the club.
Man. Thumbs up.
Welcome back to the club. Just make sure to stay in your corner.
There's more. No, sorry, that was.
Seriously, in all seriousness, though, the connection was actually fine, considering I turned it on about 15 minutes. After.
There wasn't nothing wrong with the servers. Yeah, it was fine. I've been on it since. So.
It seems the servers worked really well.
Yeah. After having that issue, I'm sure they were making sure of it.
I mean, they didn't. The transition was well. They didn't. They didn't do it in the middle of a match. It was actually logical. Almost like the preview, almost like an actual legitimate preview show, almost like WCW used to do in the back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Because second hour begins with Adam Cole still talking about what just happened to him.
I miss a good pre-show.
And
so I will say about my connection, I didn't have a good connection.
Really?
Yeah, no, I did. I kept getting the
I was
circle.
joking. Okay.
I
Go
kept
ahead.
getting the circle, and it kind of kept skipping. So, and
Oh, you're on notice, WWE Network.
halfway
shit
through
together.
the show, it dropped. So, and I had to go back and get my spot.
That is
So
unacceptable for paying $9.99 a month.
exactly. The first match on the next hour is Rhea Ripley defeating Kaden Carter. Yeah.
What? What do you say?
I was trying to say it quicker.
Oh, okay.
Who's running this ship, Scooter? Damn
it. It's the third time he's had to check you, bro.
Rhea Ripley defeated Kaden Carter with a Riptide.
You will take over. You better bogart that wheel, bro.
Yeah. Rhea Ripley, probably our next Shayna Baszler at this point. Great look, mean looking, not a bad wrestler as well.
See, that's I think it's great that Ripley is now on this side of the pond. When we reported back, when she first broke on, that she was gonna be the logical next opponent for Shayna. And most likely she will be at the next Takeover Survivor Series.
Yeah. And she come a long way. I remember when she was in the Mae Young Classic, and she just looked like a cookie cutter wrestler. She's just normal, and then compared to now, it's a completely different person. And she looks so badass. She kind of she looks like a female version of Pete Dunne, but bigger, with her hair the way it is.
I was thinking grunge rock, solid Flair.
No, but I mean the way her hair is shaped, it kind of makes it look like Pete Dunne. But yeah, she's I think she's cuter than Charlotte.
I mean, this is the example of NXT, rebuilding and padding out its women's division.
Oh yeah. Oh,
we saw it last week with Xia Li and Aaliyah. Oh my God! Try saying that 5 times fast.
And with all those matchups of the women that you just spoke about, it's a jacked division, right? You also, as most people saw, now you got Deonna Purrazzo and Chelsea Green coming in, so it's gonna get even thicker.
I'd rather have Chelsea Handler.
I love Chelsea Green. Shut your mouth, dude.
I just want to see Chelsea Handler get beat up. But
Chelsea Handler, I'll agree with you. I freaking hate Chelsea.
Ripley defeated Carter. This was basically your squash. We get a recap of the fact that NXT tag team reunited, or maybe they didn't even reunite, but
Only Larkin and Danny Burch defeated Chase Parker and Matt Martell.
I think you're talking about Breezango.
No, we're not. No? Danny Burch, Tony Larkin, who defeated Tony Nese and Drew Gulak on 205 Live. Only Larkin and Danny Burch are now called the 1-2. They beat Chase Parker and Matt Martell, known as Everrise, formerly known as Jigsaw, and Shane Matthews. No.
They don't look familiar. Last time I seen them.
They're in Evolve.
Okay.
Where?
Matt Riddle. I love Matt Riddle. Matt Riddle just called Dana White a heart.
Yeah, they were the former team known as 3.0.
Matt Riddle's trolling people online again.
Jigsaw and Shane Matthews. Yes. Yes. When Oni Lorcan and Danny Burch defeated them.
This is funny. Hold on.
Lorcan and Burch, are they going to be taken seriously as a tag team?
I don't
this
think
time
so.
around.
Honestly, they do need new tag teams, but it seems like Larkin and Burch are just that jobber team. They'll build them up to get to that title match, but at the end of the day, they're not going to give them a title run.
Hey, guys, I have a breaking news thing. Pretty big, but I'm pretty, we've heard this so many times, but there is some evidence, if this article is right, that CM Punk Los Angeles, and he has met with WWE officials over the weekend about co-hosting
It's not
the
breaking.
show.
It's not breaking. It was reported
for me
earlier
breaking.
today that it was reported earlier today that he tried out for the
that's big
WWE
news.
show.
That is big news.
Yes, that is
That's
big news. But the fact that
wow,
oh wait,
I thought he'd go to
no, wait. He's not the only one
thought
though.
he'd go back.
Who else?
AJ Lee?
No. AJ? Let's just say the mood is about to change.
Boom boom?
The mood is about Jesus, listen to what I'm saying.
The mood is about to change.
The mood to change. Maybe
the moon or the mood?
The mood. Maybe if he'll beat them if he can, and they'll survive if he lets them.
Oh, Taz.
Oh, what?
Mm-hmm.
Taz?
Taz.
For commentary?
I miss Taz.
For several times for a possible role in some way, shape, or form. We know it's not in commentary because the commentary team has been announced.
Right.
But it looks like, if
Mickey James on the main event, main event.
I mean, if CM Punk, actually, if Punk ends up signing, for the backstage show, that's gonna open a lot of doors, and if they don't agree to get Punk in the ring, that is gonna backfire. It's gonna backfire against so many fans.
I think just get them in the door and then negotiate that at another time. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But continuing on with the NXT coverage, this is what Mitch was saying before he jumped the gun, is that after this tag team match, Deonna Purrazzo and Chelsea Green were seen in the crowd.
Yeah.
That's to make their debut
and
20th
real quick, what doesn't get me, what I don't get, is people like Keith Lee, Matt Riddle, and now Deonna Purrazzo, Chelsea Green, they sign it maybe 6 months to a year before they even get put on TV, and these people are not new. They don't need to be developed. They're ready. I mean, maybe a few months to get used to the new style of the new company, but it shouldn't be a year before you put people like that on TV, in my opinion. I know there's people in front of them, but you should at least get them going in some way a lot quicker than they do.
It is kind of Chelsea Green actually had an injury that prevented her from continuing.
Okay, well, but you get my point. They do that a lot. But Keith Lee, he was signed and then didn't wrestle or debut for a good year.
Maybe they were just waiting until now to put him on because they knew this was going to be a big deal, more exposure.
Well, he was first put on at WrestleMania weekend, but before that he was signed in the last summer before that. So.
But then moving on, did Cameron Grimes beat his record last week?
No, he did not. He beat
Cameron Grimes' hat has more heat than he does. Sorry.
He defeated Raul Mendoza, and actually not a bad match. Definitely not a squash match. Well,
Raul
squash
Mendoza?
match, but
Raul. Okay.
I said Raul.
No, you said Raul.
Mm-hmm.
Mitch.
Yeah, I did. What did
Yeah.
James say? I didn't hear it. I
Well,
thought he said bro.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so they're promoting Cameron Grimes. That's good. Kushida with two mystery partners who turned out to be Tyler Breeze and Fandango.
There's
Took
your
on
Brazango.
Marcel Bartel, Fabian Eichner, and Alexander Wolf. When Tyler Breeze and Fandango was coming out, when I heard the siren, I immediately assumed Scott Steiner.
Scott Steiner.
Yeah.
Oh, that would have in NXT though. You really would have thought that that he would have agreed to that,
and he would have been like, "He's back."
33 and third chance. Whatever.
And nothing surprises me nowadays, especially with WWE. Hey, but
there's a few people who I would be very surprised.
I mean, Mitch, when you hear glass break, what do you think?
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
When you hear if you smell
one from the cops.
Well, that's just the neighborhood you live in, Scooter.
What were you saying? No, repeat that though.
If you think when you hear if you smell, who do you think?
My old girlfriend. No, the wrong.
I think my childhood bullies.
Alright, fair enough. But when you hear that siren, you think Scott Steiner. It's just
right.
What you
you're
think.
right. You're absolutely right. Yeah,
What?
you're absolutely
right. Or.
But wait, you hear.
Wait.
And then holla if you hear me.
Wait.
Right.
The siren. I mean, I wonder how many people thought it might have been Dean Ambrose.
No, that's a different siren.
Yeah, I agree.
All sirens are the same.
No, I'm pretty good at hearing the pitches of different things. I'm good at discerning things. That's more of an ECW Taz siren.
That's a Paul Heyman can't pass siren. But Kushida, the fact that Kushida danced with Brazango.
He could. He lied to them all while he was on.
I mean, the fact that the fact that so many people might have thought it was Big Papa Dump, holler for the TP.
That's funny.
And we have Scooter. What are we? When we want to call Mitch, what do we say? What call do we
And I'm not even the AEW fanboy they try to make me to be, ladies and gentlemen. Listen to these guys.
And we have attracted Kaliko Yachts. He is back.
I think that was the yodeling that made it come back. Hold on.
Hey, what's up, Kaliko? You missed quite a show so far.
Let's see.
You missed nothing, damn it.
I think it's quite funny. But
gosh,
everyone has their own thing. How have you been, Kaliko? What's up, man?
In the usual school, work, fatherhood, but can always make a little bit of time to talk about some wrestling, right?
Living life, drinking that Coke and rum.
Yeah, not yet. I'm not there yet, but I'll get there.
Yeah, the show's still young. So we're talking about NXT, Kushida, and Tyler Breeze and Fandango fighting Emporium. Kushida did not wrestle a lot in this match, unfortunately, even though he was actually on a match for 10 weeks.
It looked like to me that maybe not injured, but maybe he got a little banged up in the last go, and maybe they were just trying to sparingly use him.
Well, I mean, how could he not? Walter's a fucking brick.
I know.
What was your thoughts on NXT on USA and then WWE Network, Kaliko?
Shoot, I didn't even get a chance. Honestly, I didn't even get a chance to catch up on it. But the one thing that I'm gonna do is start actually getting back on it because it's gotten a lot live, and my only drawback is that it usually goes to school. But I try to watch it at school, but these damn teachers, man, they be walking around, and I can't watch it as much as I like. So, so,
Hide the
but
TV
the one thing.
inside the chip bag.
Yeah, I try to. Yeah, I try. No, I've tried to do picture in picture. But the one thing that I have noticed since it's gotten on, because I did watch last week's episode, they're trying to go big with it, and
Of course.
the one thing I can say is they're no longer developmental because Jesus.
No, not in my mind. They haven't been developmental in a while. They've been the best.
Yeah, they haven't really been developmental to me since Dallas. Since Takeover Dallas, they really kind of like stopped
Since
being
the roster's
developmental.
been so jacked, like when they got Keith Lee and Matt Riddle, they're two of my old indie favorites, and then Walter, but all the in last year they've signed like almost 80% of the really good wrestlers from the independent scene that were left. Like they just scooped them all up.
I mean, I can make the argument since when they had Samoa Joe, Nakamura, Sami Zayn, Finn Balor.
That was 2016 NXT. Bobby Roode.
I want to say right around that time. That's when, to me, they were no longer developmental.
That was probably that then and now. They're probably the two best NXT. Like the best NXT has been like at its height.
But yeah, that's to me. But back to the point that I'm making is it's just going to be a lot interesting to see how it goes. And this WWE Network switchover thing is going to be, to me, really kind of interesting because they got to do stuff to try to have a cliffhanger to keep people on it, at least until the suits go. But yeah.
You know that this was the last week they're doing that.
Really?
Next week is the first of the full 2-hour shows.
Finally, Jesus, that's even better because I was like, yo, that's asking people for a lot, yo. Like, that's asking customers for a lot. So
don't pretend like you didn't set a tier at that season finale of Suits, Kaliko.
Yeah, I mean, actually, Suits kind of fell off when they took the black chick off, and I was like,
I've never seen an episode of that. I haven't seen an episode of that shit.
One, she's got her own show now, and two, I mean, on Suits when they finally revealed who shot JR.
Yeah, that was the wrap.
Yep.
There's an old 80s reference for you children.
Anyways, back to your NXT analysis. Your superb NXT analysis.
Imperium basically was standing tall at the end of NXT this week with their names on the.
You need to
shout out to Kaliko's son.
And he goes mute. Wait, go ahead.
With their names on the, I guess the Minitron. I don't know if you can call it Titantron.
It's not a Titantron. It's a Midgetron.
I mean, I like
it's a Midgetron.
Hey, we need to be PC. It's a little person Tron.
Okay, it's a little person Tron. Okay, fair enough.
It's a height impaired Tron.
Yeah, little person. They hate that even more, man. That's mean.
Or it
I think that's I'm like
no, that they don't like that. I promise you, people don't like that.
The tiny Tron.
Yeah, calling them gnomes and little people. That's fucked up.
Oh, that is. Yeah.
How about let's just call them people?
I'm not a norm. You're a norm. I'm gonna steal your underpants.
Who made an appearance on Wrestling with Entertainment? What the fuck?
I'm a natural. You live.
We're gonna get sued.
Sounds like Malay. Sounds like Malay. He sounds like Momo.
Alright, so NXT Week 2 viewership did a 1.006 from last week's premiere, drew a 1.006 179. So
I don't think the ratings matter as much as we're trying to make it out to, or that the media is trying to make it out to.
No.
It's not
Don't
about
matter.
ratings.
Don't matter next week.
I mean, kind of, but they won't matter as much as if they're both low. It'll be more about the product. I'm hoping, but maybe I'm just too maybe I'm like too optimistic. I don't know.
Well, I just have one word for you, bitch. Dynamite.
Bubbler.
A little bit of diarrhea afterwards.
What kind of bubbly are you having?
Spiked bubbly.
You're the tainted bubbly?
Yeah, spiked bubbly.
By which I mean
spiked with Metamucil.
By which I mean you gotta stop dipping your taint in the bubbly.
Okay, moving on.
Alright, and that's all end our coverage of NXT, and now we are wrestling with WWE SmackDown on Fox. We are there now. It's next Friday. Or this Friday, actually.
Yeah.
And this Wednesday for Dynamite.
Yeah. But I think
that's the bigger one, in my opinion. The bigger one,
Nah.
it's too historical. It's just too historical. 20 years since there's been TNT wrestling on TNT. It's a big deal. 20 years since there's been at least some other company to stay, like, make a choice. People have a choice between, and for the boys, like, right when they became a company, as I've said many times, I like them mainly because the pay increase immediately went to double or triple. The boys immediately got way more than they ever got. It increased everything for the workers and the wrestlers. That was, I knew you had to force WWE's hand. I told everyone that it was going to take that, and that's what
it's been 25 years since the WWE was on Fox.
Okay, but I don't think that is as big of a monumental thing as the first company to stand up to WWE, basically the alma mater to WCW.
I mean, TNA tried doing it back in 2009. I mean,
no,
they
failed. No, they weren't the alma mater. They didn't have a big. They weren't on TNT. I don't care what you think.
Well, they were on Spike.
Spike wasn't.
Even WWE was on Spike at one point.
No, they couldn't. No. Spike had some. They were crap after, like, Raw left for a reason. WWE left for a reason. They left Spike for the ratings were shit there. When it became when it went to TNT, yeah, in the later after like 2000.
Them restarted with Viacom had nothing to do with ratings.
Okay, my point is after UFC left, things died down on the Spike TV side of things. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I'm not sure if you're comfortable talking about it, Mitch. We had a conversation during text message this week about the paid contracts.
Yep, that's fine. We can talk about as long as names aren't brought up.
Okay, well, apparently every contract in AEW is 6 figures.
And I thought, honestly, by now I thought this was a known thing, publicly known thing. Scooter, you've got to know this, right?
Yep.
Okay, well, yeah. So I didn't think it was a thing. So that's why I didn't really. I was
watching the Jim Cornette drive-thru. I highly recommend it. It's a great podcast.
Yeah, I have indulged on that many a times too.
Yeah. And he was saying, like, he heard rumors that they were paying Orange Cassidy 6 figures.
First off, you can't always take rumor and innuendo. You gotta take that, as it comes.
Right, but his co-host wasn't aware of that either, and I was just kind of scratching my head as to why the fuck would they pay somebody of Orange Cassidy's stature that much money? I mean, before AEW, this guy was probably getting $25 and a hot dog.
Okay, here's the thing. Let me tell you this. I'm not, like I said, I'm not gonna say names. It's not just Orange Cassidy. It's every single person contracted to AEW. The low end I heard is $120,000. Yeah.
But are there any are there any requirements on the talent end?
Yeah, I think it's like they have to end, like they can't sign with new companies. Certain people, like if they have a contract now, they have to let that end, and then they are they're contracted solely to AEW.
And they're a new company, and do you really think that the wrestlers, first and foremost, 6 figures for a Chris Jericho, John Moxley, Kenny Omega, that's chump change, honestly.
Six
Hey,
figures. Jericho was 7.
exactly. There you go.
High 7.
But guys like your mid card and your below card, should you really be paying them that much money? I mean, it
Oh
kind
no.
of adds to that, that not NXT, the AEW doomed from the start kind of thought process of it all.
I agree with you that some of the wrong, because of nepotism, but this has also been happening for years in WWE, and a lot of people are getting the big money over other people in the indies who should be getting it, obviously. But it has to do with nepotism, it has to do with favoritism, and it has to do with all these things that have nothing to do with wrestling, unfortunately. So
Right.
you get these Orange Cassidys and people like that, and it's not just Orange. It's so many. It's everyone. And okay, I like the fact that the pay's been brought up, but the fact that, like you said, people on the low end like that, like making that kind of money, and then others that like I don't know, right? But there are so many I could name off that deserve it and aren't getting that break. And they're not getting 1/10 of that money, and it's bullshit in my opinion. But I think they should be getting maybe the low end should be 60,000, maybe half of what the low end is. That's even high. That's a high low end. 60,000. That's a very high low end.
I mean,
don't you agree?
I mean, I would say there should be there should be there should be at least a guaranteed sum if the talent is not if the talent is not used, that they pay per every 2 weeks. But if AEW chooses to, they can pay the entire thing up front and boom,
right.
they're out of contract.
And yeah, right. And I've heard a lot, like Private Party, maybe some others, they got a little bit of upfront bonus of like what they were owed in WWE.
Yeah.
They were giving it up front a little.
Yeah, we're also not talking about incentives, merch.
Right, yeah. But no, I'm talking about, yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. Yep. That's true.
Does Kaliko have an opinion on this?
Sorry. I don't think Kaliko is at home. Not yet.
So, Mitch, you compare AEW to WCW.
Huh. Yeah. But wait. It's okay. There's
I get Mitch's comparison.
There are similarities, but then there are very vast.
Yeah.
Like the 3 different styles: the Cody Rhodes old school style, the Kenny Omega Joshi loving style, and then his highlight reel shit, and then the Bucks spot monkey shit. So yeah, and then you get variations of all that stuff. So, yeah, Scooter knows what I'm getting at.
Yeah, I actually I do. I also see how you're saying it's, well, I guess the term is spiritual successor.
Well,
right.
Well, what I'm
bingo.
getting at is, WCW, went out of business, and it went out of business hard, and it lost a lot of money.
Well,
And
but that's because nobody
I think
wanted it.
Russo was a big part of that, in my opinion. But
No, Russo had nothing to do with it.
I
You
mean,
don't
they
think
had to give
he
tickets
will?
away, and the highest.
He took it when it was at its best. What are you talking about?
Russo was already gone by the time WCW was sold. WCW was planned to be bought off by
No,
Eric.
you're not listening. When he came in 1999, they were at their best.
No, they weren't.
He turned it into shit. They were still okay in fall of '99. Yes, they were.
No, they weren't.
I just still like it. I still thought it was going strong.
By January of '99, they were losing.
Okay, yes, losing, but not like they're never going to come back. They were still in
They weren't. No, they weren't.
They were still like a few points back.
No, the ratings steadily declined.
Yeah, in November, December of 2000.
WWE was pulling in 5 points a night.
I mean, okay,
November, December 99 that started. I'm talking about the fall of 99. That was like right as the shit started to hit the fan. I'm telling you.
We're done with this sidebar.
I watched all of it, but okay.
What I'm trying to say is, it seems like AEW are making those same mistakes as WCW, not learning from them. I mean, they want to do a show like Hog Wild and the Spring Break show. They already did a show that looked like South Park. They're paying their guys a massive amount of money. They're giving the control of creative to wrestlers. It just seems
you make that sound like a bad thing. The creative control, like in terms of them shaping their storylines, you think that's bad?
No. I mean, giving the Young Bucks, Cody Rhodes, and Kenny Omega their vice presidents.
Okay, yeah, I get you. Because I told you it personally. At all, like about a few months in to AEW's existence, when they were having shows already, like after Fight for Fallen, I was getting pissed off that it seemed like Cody, the Bucks, Cody and the Bucks, and their little Nick crew, and even Hangman before the match he lost to Jericho, were winning everything, and just seemed like nepotism. Like, yeah, right. That was pissed me off, especially when they were talking about, we're going to change the world, but it just seemed like such hypocritical bullshit, and hypocrisy gets me on another level. So, like, and if you're going to hold WWE to the fire like that, you got to do that the same with AEW. You can't be unbiased with that shit.
And it's not as different as what Hulk Hogan, Scott Hall, and Kevin Nash did with WCW. See what I'm doing here?
That's different. I don't think they're trying to control they're trying to help others and lift others up, and they didn't do that. I honestly
they are MJF.
Hold on.
Oh, come on.
I mean, but from the beginning, I really think that this was really a case of Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks and Cody.
But they all have three separate ways of thinking.
Let me finish.
Okay.
Basically, coming together and I don't want to use this term, but almost take advantage of Tony Khan.
Yeah.
And exploit the fact that he's a huge wrestling fan.
Even Jim Cornette said something about that. Yeah.
Like, the only reason that there's never been a competitor is that there hasn't been a fanboy with enough money to do it.
Right.
And as much as Tony Khan is a great owner in the NFL,
but he's not even the owner. He's the owner's son.
He's the owner's son. That is true. Yes, he's the owner's son. And it's like, is AEW a business or is it a rich kid's fantasy?
Yeah,
exactly.
You're right. And that, like, if it was someone who like brought themselves up from poverty and like fought their way and lived and breathed wrestling and was a wrestler themselves. That's different. But a rich kid that watched it at home and just wanted to buy his way into the business and buy his way into that lifestyle, no, that's
now I will say with
but real quick, yes, they might be taking advantage of him, but they're not taking advantage of other wrestlers, and that's what Hogan and those guys did back in the 90s.
okay, yes, but you have to understand that they haven't had time yet to take advantage of other wrestlers.
You think they would really sign other wrestlers just to fuck with them?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
WCW did that.
I will say.
I mean, look what they did to the Lucha Brothers.
If I am wrong, I don't think they're doing that. If I am wrong, I will admit it. Here, I'll be the first to admit I was wrong. I guess I'm too optimistic and too cheery minded about life. But I don't think they're looking at it.
No, I don't think.
I think the Young Bucks are a different kind of breed. Yeah, they have I understand what other people think sometimes, but they also have a morality to them. They do have beliefs. I don't think they would do that.
You also have to understand that
I've heard a lot of things.
The AEW pay-per-views have lost money.
Oh yes, they have, and the ratings are shit. By the way,
those are huge.
Dude, the ratings are
losses.
Shit. Like if they went by the ratings of those pay-per-views, they are not a threat to WWE at all.
That luckily can be written off. Oh, by the way, there is some breaking news. Crown Jewel 2 was just made official.
Oh God, Saudi money, running rampant like Hulk Hogan before he became a racist.
Speaking of Khan, Hulk Hogan's gonna be there too.
And Undertaker.
Oh God, speaking of.
So,
I hope Bray Wyatt buries the Undertaker before he can embarrass himself anymore. Poor guy.
I don't think that's gonna happen.
I know, but he's ruining his legacy, James.
So what I'm gonna say about Tony Khan, and Vince McMahon. Say what you will about him. He's smart enough to know. He was smart enough to surround himself with people that were smarter than him, that understood what needed to be done, and he would essentially make the hard decisions.
But in terms of business, not in terms of wrestling.
Okay, real quick. After all I've said in defense of them, I agree with Scott. If I had that money, I would try to work with them, but there's no way I would give them VP control and then not bring in my own guys to have my own say and have my back. No way.
But
no fucking way.
That's what I'm saying. Vince McMahon, he brought in people that were smarter than him.
Because I'll say you can have a seat at the table, but we're gonna have our my staff, and then we can work with you, but you don't have control. Yeah.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, it seems like Tony Khan.
That's what I would
surrounded himself with people that were actually maybe stupider than himself.
I think just naive, and it's like they think that this is a new era, so barriers are broken, and they don't have to do things like the people that succeeded in the past did, and they can trail their own, blaze their own path, shit like that,
Right.
So they don't have to, conform or whatever you call it.
So, AEW has a new show coming on, obviously, Wednesday.
Dynamite!
Yeah. And they already announced, they did announce that Pac is wrestling Hangman Page.
Yeah, oh man, that, honestly, before that, there wasn't really any matches I was looking forward to. Even, the Moxley match hasn't even really been played up as much as it should be.
There is no Moxley match, he's just coming to talk or something.
Wow. Okay, hold on.
The Moxley Mausoleum.
Yeah, I might rant on them next week for that. How do you not use one of your biggest? How do you not use Jericho and Moxley on your first show?
They're gonna use him. He just can't wrestle all of them.
Yeah, and that could just be because he's not physically able to at this point.
Well, it depends what they do with him. I hope it's not just a freaking interview.
He's injured.
So
I thought he was better by now, but okay.
I was when they first announced like the first 3 matches on this card, I was crapping on it, but now I'm kind of, now that we have the full card with some things
The Hangman match.
Wait, hold on just a second. We went from talking about SmackDown on Fox and discussing the AEW card.
This ship definitely sailed in a different direction.
I mean, I think we should talk about some of the matches that are scheduled for Fox.
We will. We'll just talk really quickly about AEW, damn it.
AEW,
there you go. The main event obviously is going to be the Elite, Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks versus Chris Jericho and LAX.
Right.
Which, if you think about it, is a smart match because it has the best known superstar in the match, Chris Jericho. The LAX, who is well known from Impact Wrestling, so you may have
they're not world known, but they're
but they were.
They've been on TV.
They were the biggest free agent tag team.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
I didn't sign with WWE. Right.
Even Kenny Omega and the Bucks. A lot of well-known names in that match. But if you don't know who Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks are, you're going to know who Chris Jericho is.
You've been living under a rock.
You might have kind of heard of LAX.
You've been living in Generation Me.
Ew. Which one?
That was
Pac and Hangman
I'm
Page.
joking. I know, Scooter.
Obviously, people are going to know who Pac is from WWE because he was Neville.
Never.
And then you have the heroin users who think they're saying Tupac is going to wrestle Hangman Page.
How is stupidity and heroin use binary?
I didn't say it was right.
I'm saying it's just stupidity. That's just stupidity. That could come from anyone.
You have Cody Rhodes fighting Sammy. Can't pronounce his last name.
Guevara.
Yeah.
Guevara.
Guevara.
It's not Gue. It's Guevara.
It's spelled G-U-E. It's Gue.
But it's spoken Guevara.
Dijakovic.
I promise you.
What I'm getting at is Cody Rhodes, another WWE guy.
Right, yeah.
And then you have the women's title match. Obviously, people aren't going to know who they are, but they're going to watch for the guys that they do know. You got
There's
no way Nyla Rose doesn't win, yeah. It's not even going to be a shocker to me.
So, honestly, it's a smart card considering that they stacked it with WWE guys. You kind of know what I mean?
Yeah, plus they're likely saying a surprise or two.
If they don't have a surprise, at least one big one on their on their first show ever on TNT, they're dropping the ball. You gotta have a Lex Luger type moment if you can. I'm sure they've been looking, so we'll see.
They might already have it.
They probably do. Let's just hope it's not actually Lex Luger.
Yeah, right. In his wheelchair. And then you see him in his wheelchair and he's putting his elbow pads on. Yeah. Anyways. Go ahead. That got quiet quick.
It hasn't been announced that LAX is the tag team partners, but people already know.
It could be a swerve. Right. but I don't think so.
Yeah.
Right.
Unless it's actually Lex Luger, then that's not a good thing.
It would
and
be,
if it's Joey
it would be
Ryan,
smart.
I'm taking off my fucking TV.
Yeah, we know. But you know what? Even though we think it's going to be LAX, it would be smart if they swerved us. Say like LAX comes on like right at the beginning of the show, and then at the end of the show is that match. So it really makes us think, oh shit, it's not LAX. Then who is it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then it makes people like, oh shit, I gotta watch. I gotta like wait till the end and see this. That's what I would do.
Unfortunately, I don't think they're that smart.
Unfortunately, hire me.
I mean, you have the connections, Mitz. Honestly, you think you would have had one of these
Yeah,
jobs?
but okay, like I said, first off, there's so many other people that deserve a job over me, and no, you're not one of them. You're not one of them.
And me.
No. Okay,
Okay,
but I'm talking about the really good wrestlers that should be in WWE or should have a really good contract that don't and are getting overlooked because of the nepotism and the favoritism of whatever, social or born from family stuff, whatever it may be. So, yeah, you know where I'm coming from. So I'm repeating myself now. So.
Right. All right, so we had this sidetrack of AEW Dynamite on Wednesday.
And now
we are wrestling with Friday Night Smackdown on Fox. And the main event of that show, Brock Lesnar versus Kofi Kingston for the WWE Championship. This is a big match considering Brock Lesnar hasn't wrestled on WWE TV since his last run in WWE in 2004.
I'm just getting tired of Brock, to be honest.
It's gonna be SmackDown on Brock's.
I'm getting tired of Brock.
It's a historic rematch from Beast in the East.
Historic.
No, you laughed at that, but that was like the first thing I thought.
A historic bomb. A historic mess.
Yeah.
See, that's the problem, is that so many everyone at this point is conditioned to think there's no way that Brock is not walking out with the title. Like, there's gonna have to be they're gonna have to be they're gonna have to have something planned, like in the works, somebody waiting to feud with Brock. And actually, oh my God.
No contest.
No, wait.
Hey,
Oh my God.
Go back.
Yeah, emergency.
I was talking about this on a Reddit forum, and I was thinking about is there anybody left for Brock Lesnar to have a sort of a marquee pay-per-view match with?
Kofi's got to win it, in my opinion.
Roman? Steve Austin.
No, Kofi needs to beat Brock Lesnar, in my opinion.
But
yeah, it would make more for Kofi to win.
You got to. Brock is old and done, in my opinion. Kofi, this will help Kofi so much.
Who is facing Seth Rollins next week for the Universal Championship?
The Fiend.
No,
on
Rey
Raw.
Mysterio.
Oh,
Rey Mysterio.
Raw. Yeah, Ray. Sorry.
Who is also going to be on Raw next week?
Your mama? I don't know.
Brock, you dumb shit.
Oh, you're thinking he's going to unify the title?
No, I'm thinking Brock Mysterio.
There's going to be a draft show in 2 weeks. We all know that.
Nah,
right?
I don't see it. I don't see Brock Mysterio.
No. You guys know about the draft show, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But to me, the match screams no contest, personally.
So they're actually going to make the brand split an actual thing again instead of brand split LOL.
Well, that's why they put Michael Cole and them on that Fox show, which means it's going to be the 8 show.
Yeah.
Finally.
If they move Renee off of a show, that's bullshit.
Michael Cole and Corey Graves are
I would keep Renee on a show though.
She's on SmackDown too. Yeah.
Okay.
She's the correspondent. Those two other guys now on Raw.
She's a correspondent. She's not at the main desk.
Nope.
Oh, bullshit!
I thought they had her on the desk.
You like Renee Young as on commentary?
I like Ray Young. Yes, I love Ray Young.
Well, especially after she got called out for cursing last week.
I think that makes her a lot more cool to me.
You talking shit too, Corey?
Thank you. I like her. I like her a lot.
I have to double ticket that.
Yeah. She's got lady balls. Guys, did you see that picture? She's got a picture of her standing at a men's urinal like she's taking a piss. That's like she's got lady balls.
Well, I mean, she would have to be married to John Moxley.
Yeah, I'm just saying she's got balls for a chick.
One of the other matches confirmed for the show is Kevin Owens versus Shane McMahon in a ladder match. I mean, didn't they have this? I thought the SummerSlam match was for Shane McMahon to never wrestle again.
No, it was just for Owens to keep his career.
But I thought the other stipulation was Shane McMahon doesn't wrestle again.
No,
I'm so over that storyline. The legalese bullshit. Why did they think we would like that? They gotta know. They had to have known we were gonna shit on that.
I honestly don't know. It seems like whenever lawyers are involved, it's bound to suck.
Yeah, it's like Vince always recycles stuff because we've seen the lawyers thing so many times. Let's make this a cool segment. All right, let's put the lawyers in it. That's what, because he thinks in his demented rich mind, he thinks that's one of the biggest troubles a person can go through, being sued. You know. So.
Well, when you're a billionaire, it is.
I mean, technically, if you're poor, that is the biggest thing you can go through.
But that's my problem. It's in his bubble. He is stuck in a bubble.
I mean, if you're poor and you're getting sued and you're trying to sue a rich person, a rich person will use that money to drag you out. So it's relatable.
I'm talking about Vince's his worldview has been in a bubble since the 80s. He's in a bubble because he can't be touched.
It's not like Eric Bischoff is doing any much better.
He's like a Trump. He's like wrestling's Donald Trump, basically.
Have you heard about this thing called cable?
Yeah, right? He's racism away from being wrestling's Donald Trump.
Oh, I got news for you. Donald Trump is the Mr. McMahon of politics.
Yeah, I know. You think I saw that shit coming, but we don't want to talk about that. Yeah.
How dare you compare me to that loser, Vince McMahon?
I saw it coming a mile away, and it angers me how gullible people can be to vote against their own interests. But anyways, yeah.
You are a spy.
Well, the only reason I voted for Trump is because he's a WWE.
Oh my God, James.
WWE. I know that. He's been on my TV.
Get out! Get out!
Get the fuck out of here! You ruined our lives.
Oh no, you ruined your lives way longer before I met you.
Fair enough, touche.
No, our lives were perfect. Damn it!
Actually, you might have done us a favor with. I didn't want Hillary either, and we will get way better than Hillary if we ever do later on.
Great.
Trump will bring
and a sexist.
The chaos of Trump will bring better, I think. So hopefully, I think it'll be. Things will be better we'll be better off for the good. You know what I'm talking about.
Who was that dictator who was part of that meme for president? What was it? Started with a K.
What?
For Kim Jong-il? Kim Jong-un?
No, but I forget.
Oh, I love you, Kaliko.
No, yeah, they would think he's a dictator somewhere in Africa.
Okay.
Oh, you're talking about Coney.
Yes. Coney.
Gaddafi.
No, Coney. It's Coney.
Mitch is right.
About Coney.
Cody. I think Cody might even be
Okay,
Cody.
we're getting off topic hard. We're getting off hard. Yeah, we're getting off topic hard.
This is
Because
a wrestling podcast.
Well, we got here by talking about Vince McMahon, then
Wrestling,
we
damn
how
it.
Vince McMahon was related to how Donald Trump acts, and then and then we went down.
I don't need to know that how we got there, Mitch.
I'm just telling you.
We got
It's time to swerve out of there. Is that what
You guys,
hard U-turn?
Yeah,
and you want me to talk about how I
God.
used Bobby Lashley to
Shut
defeat
up.
Umaga, and then it was the greatest moment in the history of the world.
Everyone and their mom has a Donald Trump accent. Shut the hell up.
No, it just was announced today that Roman Reigns will be fighting Eric Rollins in a rematch, unfortunately.
Eric Rollins.
Yeah, I let that go.
Eric Rollins.
Alright, so I added an S, damn it.
No, you're actually much better than Scooter and me, so.
Hey, speak for yourself. No.
No, you're actually the worst of us, buddy.
And
Tonight.
Stone Cold will also be on that show. It seems like they're really using the Stone Cold card at this point.
Why wouldn't they? That's money, yo.
I said last week they should move
Boston.
They should have him be like basically the host, like the host of a show. Yeah,
he is. It's called.
And I would watch every week.
I'm talking about full time, dumbass, for Raw or SmackDown.
No.
Yeah.
Say what you will, but when he was GM with Eric Bischoff, that was some great shit.
That's one person I hate, Eric Bischoff. Russo and Bischoff together killed it, but I'm not big on Bischoff.
But when Stone Cold was general manager with Eric Bischoff, when they were co-GMs, that was good shit.
I don't know. I didn't like it. It wasn't. I mean, it wasn't bad. It's just it didn't stand out to me like it did to you.
Yeah. Well, that was maybe I just look at that era.
No,
rose-colored glasses, but
everyone has their own moments. I totally get that, man.
Right.
Yeah, that stick out to them.
So, they already announced that we already got new logos, we're getting pyro again. Thank God.
New sets. I have to design some new graphics.
New graphics and new sets, which Mitch announced like 3-4 months ago.
Yeah, a couple months ago, something like that.
Yeah, I just love how we announce shit like months and months prior to it actually happening, and then people are like, "Hey, breaking news! They got a new set this week."
You know what? Let him take credit for it. It's on record that we said it. Hopefully, sooner or later, we'll get more viewers.
Remember,
and then we will be heard first. So.
We broke that story. We broke the more story.
We broke the fisting story.
Yeah.
I mean, it's only $5 billion. Of course, they're gonna get a new set.
The giant fist is back, everybody. The fist. It's fisting time.
That's one of the most iconic sets in WWE history.
I would think, at least one or two, yeah.
No, the first one with the rings were the most iconic.
No, the fist was my,
I think it's the most recognizable.
This time they're gonna add a rectum.
Oh God.
So I'll punch up your ass.
So when we start complaining about the product again, we only have ourselves to blame. Like, you wanted this up your ass.
So it's like a warning to everybody.
Yeah. It's like your favorite food. It's great. It's great for the first couple of weeks, and then eventually people are gonna find way you're gonna get sick of it and start to complain about it.
They're holding a literal fist over our asses.
I mean, I think that's like every time, like anything that gets changed. That's what happened with Kofi. That's what happened with Seth. That's what's happening with Becky. It's a ever evolving sheep nation.
Yeah. And that's how things stay feeling fresh. You got to change it up every now and then.
Yeah, I mean, that's why we now have different lyrics to Seven Nation Army.
You gotta act fresh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And the last time they changed those sets was what, 3-4 years ago? So
I don't even know that was
Credit.
considered
That's
a
giving them
legit.
credit.
I don't know if that was even considered a legit set
No,
change.
that wasn't a change. That was like a very slight alteration.
Yeah, I mean that was just like slapping like new colors on the Raw,
And it was like different angles of the big screen. Like
and
they were like
it's
slanted a little.
and it was at a time when they were budgeting and like
Exactly.
figuring ways to cut costs.
right,
You're
but
right.
they still changed the set, and they had the Rapway with the that was also an LED board. What they have now. But usually these sets last them for like around 10 years, and these ones did not last even 5 years at this point.
Well, I think it's more of the aesthetic. Like they could have kept using it. It's just it would have been more, especially
Like,
with AEW coming in. You gotta change it up. You gotta. It's a new
like,
era.
it's
So-
like it's like SmackDown gonna like get its like own shape, Titantron again.
Yeah,
I mean, quite honestly, I think they could serve from possibly making the Trons smaller.
like the small ones at
I don't know.
NXT.
You know what?
No,
I don't
not
know, no.
not NXT, but
What I would. I like the big ones still, but I would make like other mini ones around the ring, like or kind of like on the sides, like they used to, or at least a few of them. It may be shortened. You can shorten the main Titantron down if you have other screens, but not if that's only an
I believe we are actually getting full LED. I believe we may be getting full LED screens around the ring as aprons.
Oh, I thought that was the move because
So
it's Fox. It's Fox, and they're them and
Fox
WWE are gonna throw everything they can at it. So of course it's gonna be like blitzed out like a theme park. Yeah.
Like would how Fox they tend to plug their shows at the bottom of the screen and whatnot. They could do that on the actual side of the ring.
Wow.
Like,
they're pumping a lot of cash into this. All right.
Oh, okay.
So that should do it for this week's edition of Wrestling with Entertainment. Next week we will be talking about Ring of Honor, Death Before Dishonor, AEW Dynamite, and Friday Night SmackDown on Fox. So a stacked show. Oh, if you like the show, please like, subscribe, comment on both YouTube and Castbox. If you want to follow us on Twitter, you can find me at James993. You can find Kaliko at I am Kaliko. Where can they find Mitch Mayhem?
Hiding behind a tree for his life. No, they can find me at Mitch Mayhem X on Twitter.
And where can they find Scooter Dust?
Me begging on the corner for a little bit of crack. No, you can find me at Scooter Dust and, of course, running the breaking news section for the UNB network at WWE on UNB.
And that shall do it for my co-host who only came in for a cup of coffee and left, Kaliko Yachts, Mitch Mayhem, and Scooter Dust. This has been Wrestling with Entertainment, eh?
Habu si Mawina?
Big titty.